Hey guys, what's going on? It's Promisers bringing you guys another video right here on Paragon version 4.2. In this video, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. This video, I'm gonna do a card guide, card build for Wukong jungle. Something that I've been seeing a lot lately. You don't really see Wukong in off lane as much anymore. Now you see him in the jungle, and pretty much all he does is AFK farm until late game, and then pretty much he sieges, and he's pretty damn unkillable. I just played a few games Wukong just to test out the card build to see if it was even worth mentioning or anything like that. And from what I've noticed, it works really well with me if you can just upgrade your agility points all the way up. But enough of that, let me get into the build. So the card deck is going to have Chaos in order. So the reason I choose Chaos, obviously for the attack speed cards and for the agility build path order. There's some order cards in here that are decent to use. I use them as kind of early stepping stones pretty much, and then later on into the game there's a few that I would recommend using. Alright, so let's go into the cards. I have Lucky Block, which gives you 20% to reduce basic damage taken by 50. So I grabbed this card just in case. For some reason I get somebody on my team that's like, no, I'm playing jungle regardless if you call the lane or not, or whether priority pick, however they want to go about it. So I grabbed this just in case I have to play the off lane. It's pretty good. I mean, 1 in every 5 attack you block 50 damage in early game. Say for instance you're against a Twin Blast. His base attacks are really weak early on, so you'll be mitigating a lot of damage there. And then I grabbed Demolitionist, and this is for when I want to go jungle right here. This is pretty much my jungle build and path right here. So you deal 12 bonus damage to non-hero units and structures. Bonus damage is reduced to 8 if attack is ranged. Now 12 damage doesn't seem like a lot, it seems like a minuscule amount, but early game in jungle, when you're trying to clear out those camps and everything like that, try to sustain yourself, the extra damage is well needed, especially on Wukong, where if you don't necessarily focus on your control aggression, your stance switch, which is your E ability, then you can die pretty fast if you're not looking for those marks. Fortifying Strikes is also a good card to grab just in case you want that basic armor in jungle, or if you're laning and you want to be playing a little bit more aggressive and you want to be landing those basic tasks. Usually this is something I prefer on somebody that's ranged like the Fae, but it's all user preference at that point. We're going to go down to the next tier where it's Nitro Boost. You get 11 attack speed, gain 125 move speed for 3 seconds. This is a good early game item, gives you enough attack speed to help you, clear a little bit faster. And then also the move speed is really good for when you're coming in for a gank. And say for instance you're against somebody who can outrun you, relatively people like FaZe or people like the Revenant and everything like that, who puts damage on you and makes you kind of want to turn around. So this allows you to stick to them a little bit closer. Also like crunches as well. Keep scrolling down here. We're gonna go down to my next card, Overclock Droid. So pretty much the card gives you 7 power, 13 attack speed, gain 32 attack speed, 150 move speed for 6 seconds. You take 15% additional damage while this effect is active. I really like this card a lot. I don't use the Frenzy active skill just because I think that's a pretty 15% doesn't sound like a lot. But it stacks up over time, considering when you gank, you're either going to be against 1 or 2 lane opponents depending on what lane you go into. So you could use passive just to attack, like say for instance maybe a mid-health enemy. I personally don't do it, but that's all once again user preference. Alright, let's keep on scrolling down, and now we're going to get into the good stuff. So this card right here, I really like this card, Malik's Tribute. 15 power, 17 attack speed, gain a shield for any healing above max health, 20% maximum. Now I really like this card just because in the agility slots you can get 10% lifesteal. You get 10% lifesteal on the gym page. This card actually becomes a lot more sufficient and a lot more cost dependent pretty much. So it's reliable. I use it in the late game. It's really nice. You get the shield, and if you can stack shields with another card I'm going to show you guys here in a bit, then it really helps out, and it really helps you stay alive and sustain in battles for a lot longer. Heavy Hitter is a go-to agility card for most people now, from what I see, for most carries and for most melee or range attack characters that only depend on basic attacks pretty much. So Heavy Hitter, 16 power, 16 attack speed, basic damage is increased by 15%. Like I said, 15% may not seem a lot, but over time, the more and more somebody keeps stacking those hits on you, it becomes a lot more apparent that their damage output is going to be quite scary over time. So we're gonna scroll down. This card I don't get too much, but then again it's also good, just depends on what team comp you're playing against. So March and Main Link, 10 power, 26 attack speed. Basic attacks have 30% chance to remove a debuff from yourself. Now Like I said, it depends on the team comp that you're playing against. So you could be playing against a Faye, a I don't know, a Morgesh, etc., etc. So the Faye slow would be you have 30% chance if hitting her that her slow is gone, or Morgesh or Hive and it's constant ticking stacks. You have 30% chance that her debuff will be gone. So you can play with the odds. You can gamble if you want to. I only use this card if I know for a fact that there's going to be a lot of debuffing and last CC coming out from the other team. But other than that, it's kind of hit or miss card whether you need it or not. We're gonna keep scrolling down. So these two cards right here pretty much make or break my build. So I got right here Sacred Alchemy, 18 power, 20 attack speed, 240 health. I would say that getting health on Wukong is a go-to. A lot of people may not think the same. I think it's really good on Wukong just because Wukong can stay in a fight long thanks to his 84,000 hair or 82,000 hairs, his ultimate passive ability that lets him clone himself. So let alone him being able to clone himself in a battle. And you have extra health, now you have extra sustain, and then on top of that, shielding strikes gain shield equal to 20% of the basic damage dealt. Wukong's already a strong character, and on top of his ulti, also giving out 15% of his basic damage for 4 seconds, and attacking for 3 times in the 4 seconds. That's really good. That's really good because that counts as his basic damage, and on top of that, you also get shielded, and you have a lot more chance to win an outcome. The game I played, as soon as I picked up Sacred Alchemy, I was able to 1v3 people, which is pretty scary. The next card is Unstable Cyborg. That's 17 power, 47 basic armor. Like I said, we're always trying to look for that sustain, always trying to keep ourselves in fight a little bit longer. And like I said, Wukong, it's going to be a hit or miss where you want health and armor on him, or where you just want to go straight damage and just try to nuke your opponents. Me, I like, as much as nuking is great and all, it kind of leaves you at a 50-50. So yeah, I can destroy them, but they can also destroy me back because I have no mitigation, I have no health, I have no armor. So with this card, Reactive Burst, 20% chance to deal 125 ability damage to all nearby enemies when taking damage. Now, obviously, being a melee character, you're obviously going to get in fights, you're obviously going to get in scuffles, and there's obviously going to be a chance for them to keep attacking you even though you're attacking them because they believe the favor is in their odds, or the odds is in their favor, my bad. But with this 20% chance, now not only do you have 47 basic armor now, and thanks to Sacred Alchemy, you have 240 health. Now you also have a 20% chance to deal additional damage for them attacking you, and it's on a cooldown of 0.4 seconds. So that's insanely fast. So every 5th hit, every 0.4 seconds, so you were sending out an extra 125 ability damage to them. So if you ask me, that's really worth the trade-off for nuke over mitigation and sustain. So the last card in my build that I go for is Shatter Golem. Hands down, probably one of the better cards for, like I said, the carries in the game, and usually the melee range people that depend on basic attacks. So you get 26 power, 18 attack speed, and critical strikes. You get basic attacks have 20% to deal 100 bonus damage. So 100 bonus damage, that is pretty much a crit. So you have every 5 hits a chance to hit 100% crit. So like I said, Wukong, his ultimate ability, 82,000 strands, you wouldn't even notice that you wouldn't be getting a crit. However, the fact of the matter is that critting, you know, is a make or break. Say for instance you have 200 health and you're against a crunch with 600 health. He has his combo rotation coming back up. If you can land at least 1 or 2 crits throughout that time of him about to hit you with his rotation, you'll win that fight. Even though you may barely win it, you'll win it regardless, and you'll be able to get out of there scot-free. So as a replacement to Shatter Golem, you can also go Knight of Asher, which is 19 power, 14 attack speed, 24 basic armor, and basic damage passive gain 25 basic damage right off the jump. And you can elevate it, increase your basic damage by 1.5 per attribute point purchase. Now at this point in the game, if you do decide to purchase this card over Shatter Golem, you gotta understand that you're putting points into slots that really may not need it. For instance, say for instance you put all 5 gems into the agility slot, and now you have 8,000 gold. Yeah, you put 8,000 into say for instance vitality. You play 8 points in vitality, you may have 1 keystone of vitality for jungle lifesteal, but after that it's kind of wasted points other than the fact that you're getting more health. But it's all about how you look at it. Me, I think this card can be useful just because even though you're putting points in a tree that you don't have any gems in, it's really worth it just to get the extra 1.5 per. It's not a lot of power, but it's still pretty good. So with that being said and done, we're going to go ahead and go to the next page. Next page just shows you my attribute tree. So pretty much I have the 5 points in agility, 1 point in vitality. For agility I have jungle assassin, basic attacks deal 4.3 basic damage to jungle minions. Ruthless, deal an additional 2.1% basic damage to heroes for every 10% of enemy heroes missing health. This right here is pretty good just because of the fact that the lower their health is, so say for instance they're at half health when you run to the lane, you're dealing 2.1% times the 5. So say for instance 50% half health. Now 50 times 2.1, you're doing a solid about 20, 22, 23 damage, 23% extra basic damage. That's really good. And then you have lifesteal, 6.1% lifesteal. I thought it was 10%. I apologize, but still, nonetheless, like I said, this card goes really well with the melee card in the deck, just because overhealing and overshielding based off your lifesteal, that's pretty legit. Duelist, you get 20% less damage from any hero who you hit with a basic attack for the next 3 seconds. Your Wukong, 82,000 hairs, your ultimate passive ability that clones yourself, you will be hitting pretty much everybody in the vicinity, which means everybody will be doing less damage, which means you're mitigating a lot more, you're standing a lot more, you're staying in a fight a lot more, you're more useful to the team that way. Especially late game when you're sieging towers and say for instance an enemy attacks you in your tower. When your clone hits the enemy, it does not count as you hitting him. It only counts as the clone hitting them. So the target will not target the tower will not target Wukong, even though one of his clones hits you. I've died multiple times to trying to kill Wukong who is sieging my turret, to all his clones surrounding the turret and him not taking any tower aggro and him still being able to get the turret. It's pretty fucking annoying. Relentless Pursuit is the last gem. Basic attacks no longer apply combat penalty. You stack this Relentless Pursuit on top of his ult, you are pretty much just the ultimate duelist machine. Nobody on their team can fight you at that point, unless, say, for instance, they have somebody who can nuke you down like a Countess. Other than that, nobody else in the game can possibly fight you, depending on how strong you are and depending on how fast you get to full build. Vitality only put 1 point in there, and that's for jungle lifesteal. Basic attacks restore 2.5 health against jungle minions. It sounds small, but anything helps, especially in the early game before pre-level 5 with Wukong, before you get your ult. So without your ultimate ability, you're pretty much in a tough situation as it comes with sustain and just staying in the jungle for more than 2 or 3 camps, unless you're just a professional jungler. I'm not. I just recently started, so I'm doing things that I know will help me out early on until I can find out a better strategy for myself later in the game. So with that being said, guys, like I said, this is my Wukong jungle build with Jungle Assassin, Ruthless, Lifesteal, Duelist, Relentless Pursuit, so a full agility skill tree. And on top of that, I got Jungle Lifesteal as my 1 point in Vitality. And then we have Armor Footman, Demolitionist, Heavy Hitter, Knight Ashura, Living Guardian, Maelink's Tribute, March of the Maelink, Nitro Boost, Overclock Droid, Sacred Alchemy, Shatter Golem, Unstable Cyborg. And we're looking for a final build to look like Unstable Cyborg, Sacred Alchemy, and possibly either Maelink's Tribute or Knight of Asher. So it's up to you guys, but this is my build for Wukong, and like I said, I played him for a few games back to back before making this video, and I realized that this build is hella OP, hella strong. And if you get to the final build, so if you can get past maybe 25 minutes in the game, you're guaranteed to play a significant impact on your team, and nobody will be able to duel you one-on-one. Anyways, guys, this is Promisers bringing you another video, Paragon version 4.2, with a new deck building series. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.